Fantastic. So at this point, your wireframe deck should be done. It should be refined. It should have gained feedback from me during the group calls. It should have gone through some of your network to get their feedback, constructive criticism, and you should have reached out to some of the members asking if you could go over your deck with them and vice versa. Look for people that are at your stage. Okay, so that's really important. Wireframe deck, we're getting through towards the end, and what we need to now do is turn that wireframe deck into the rough deck. The rough deck is what you're going to hand off to the designer. The rough deck is everything you want in the deck. It's all the correct numbers. It's got, most importantly, your stamp of approval, the founder stamp of approval. So what that means is I need you to go through every inch of the deck, every centimeter, and I need you to make sure you agree with all of it and that you like it. Please don't go changing the size of the headlines. Don't change the headlines too much. Like, remember that this went through a refinement process over the last few levels. So go in there and make sure that it's good. You're proud of it from a, detail-oriented perspective. And then when you're done with that, it's time to give it to the designer and get stuff done. So go give it your stamp of approval, and then let's move on to getting this designed and picking your designer. This is finalized design deck, story motivation. I remember back in the day when I was fundraising, early stages before I really understood the process, almost every investor conversation I would have, I'd go and redo the deck and, change something on it. Like, this person said we don't have a good enough business model. I'd go redo the deck. This person said I need a better team with more logos. I'd go add more logos. Like, it was just constantly going back and forth between what the investor said on that day's call and then like updating the deck. And I would do this the whole fundraise for months, and it was so dumb, and I never realized how off base I was. Because what you actually need to do is just have a beautiful, done, simple deck that allows you to get introductions, doesn't need to say everything about your business, it just needs to be good enough to tease the investor to take a meeting with you. That deck only needs to be good enough to get you a 15-minute introduction meeting. Once your foot's in the door, then you can bring down the house, as I say. So let's just get our foot in the door. And all you need is a simple deck. Doesn't need to have all the details. So that's what we're doing right now, is we're finalizing it. So go pick a designer. You can either hire your own if you have people that you love, or you can go into, there's like a list of designers that I found that you can go hire. They're cheap, they're like good. You're gonna have to manage them a lot, but that's how I do all my design work, through Fiverr and just like micromanaging essentially. So make sure your deck is like as good as you want it and it's easy to convey. And then the better your rough deck is, the easier the designer is going to be able to create a great final deck that you like. So go pick out your designer, go send them the design. And when you're done with getting version 1 and you've gotten through some of the changes, come to the group call, send it to members. Let's get some feedback going and make sure that it's bulletproof and people like it. Any investor or advisor or friendly in the past that gave you some advice about feedback for your earlier stages of the deck, whether it was the wireframe, the rough deck, or even the headline only deck, this is a great opportunity to warm them up again by sending them the new version of the design and saying, hey, I took all your feedback. Thanks so much for giving it. That makes them feel like their time was valuable. And so thanks so much for giving your feedback. Here's the deck. If you have any more feedback, otherwise I'm going to wrap this up in the next week. It shows professionalism, shows that you're here, you're committed to getting a good deck, and then you're moving on. Good luck. Keep me updated. I'll see you in the group meetings.